Hello, welcome back to the IFS podcast live review. And let's get this party started. I hope this doesn't spill over my computer. Oh, okay, good. Did not make a mess. All right, I am back. I'm Bearcat, and we have a special guest tonight. But before we get to her, I want to introduce my good friend. He is waiting in line for his presidential pardon. It's Edwin Scooter Grohl. Ed, say hello.
I don't even get half of the references in that other than my own name. But hello, everybody. Good to see you again. Glad to be with you. We're going to be enjoying a brand new Central PA beer here. And we're on the cuspice of Beer Week here. So we also have a special guest with us, one of the curators of Harrisburg Beer Week, Chelsea.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hello, Chelsea.
Cheers. Hey, nice shirt, Ed.
Thank you. I thought you'd be wearing yours too. I wore it just in case.
I have my church shirt on. What do you have? Show them what you have. Show them your hop cone.
I've got the this year's Harrisburg Beer Week shirt. Made sure. And I'm not a t-shirt guy, but this is one of the most comfortable shirts I've ever worn in my life. Yeah, it's very good. So thank you guys for that very much. So what are we drinking tonight for our review here?
All right, so we have a crowler. Each one of us picked up a crowler of Evergreen, which, by the way, this is a great crowler. We'll talk about the label. They're Blue Detour. So this is brand new. It's a Northeast IPA. Just came out and 6.5%. And you know what? I haven't had a sip yet. Let's all dig in.
Nice color.
Yeah.
I had a couple the other night when I was actually there. And yeah, the color is spot on this. The smell is the aroma is fantastic. I shouldn't call it smell. I should act like a pro, but
I was going to call you out on that.
No, thank you. I caught myself. I was like, smells good.
My smeller enjoys this one.
Like a high school date. You're like, smells good. I don't know.
I like the mouthfeel on this one though. It's a lot thicker than some of their other IPAs they've done. So traditional Northeast style IPA, definitely you want it to be thicker, creamier. Have some body to it.
Yeah, I like it to be velvety and kind of like soft. Topped it off here. It's got a nice little head. The color is pretty good. I think it could be a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
It's also nighttime, so it's hard to tell. Maybe a natural light, it would have a little more yellow, orange going on.
One thing I usually look for in I guess, I don't know if we figured out, are we calling them Northeast, New England? I still say New England style IPAs. The type of the sunset color where you get like the oranges and the reds in there a little bit, like a dithering. This one has a little bit more of a uniform color, which I think a lot of people are defaulting to now, but the nose is great. I love the nose on this. It does have a great carbonation and good mouthfeel.
Yeah, I agree. The carbonation, I think it might be a little bit prickly here at the
a little.
Onset. Yeah.
Just a little, like towards the end for me.
Yeah. It's not. It's still early. I gotta have a few more pulls.
And I'm looking too and making sure there's no yeasts floating around, no hop debris. So it looks good in that regards. I can't stand when there's chunks of yeast floating around a Northeast style IPA. If there's that, they've done it wrong.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. So, hey, if you're in the chat room, if you're following along with us, let us know what you're drinking, what you're enjoying with us, and feel free to interject, and we'll throw it to you here and there. So, Chelsea, thanks for coming on. We'll get back to this beer in a minute, but the reason why we invite you on is Harrisburg Beer Week. It's next week. It starts. Actually, it's 6 days, right?
Yeah, it's Friday, so a week from now.
A week from now, yeah. Okay, and it's 10 days this year,
yep.
You got a ton of stuff coming. Tell us how you got involved in Harrisburg Beer Week and why you do it.
Well, actually, I kind of fell into it. Obviously, Ed Tierney's a big part of Harrisburg Beer Week, and her and I were writing together on stouts and stilettos. And she kind of just pitched the idea to me and another friend of ours that writes on stouts and stilettos, Colleen. and then another beer friend in the area, Sarah Bozich, and we all just kind of just started talking about it kind of casually, and we were all like, you know what? It makes sense. We need something in this area to pull it all together, to bring more of a community involvement into it. It's not just an individual going out to drink. It's bringing everybody in together to celebrate, to do kind of fun and funky things and push each other. I love how the brewers kind of get competitive when Harrisburg Beer Week rolls around and they start doing collaborations. So it's kind of fun.
That's great. And I'm a member of the media. Ed's not. So I got a media package. Yeah, I got a media package about this. And I just want to run through some of the things that me, a credentialed member of the media, got, something that Ed did not.
This is actually news to me too, and I'm
we
about
put
to
a
make
cute little package together.
I'm about to make fun of every piece of this bill. So go.
It's great. So me, a very important person, Ed not. Just so we're getting that clear.
All right, I already have a problem.
Okay. So I got a nice little list here of what's new for 2018. It's now 10 days. So I think we've expanded now to like what is probably the natural size of Harrisburg Beer Week. 10 days, nice big.
You get 2 full weekends that way. That's why we did it.
Right. It's fantastic. That's a nice move. I can appreciate that. We have new locations for the VIP party. It's gonna be at Strawberry Square. Yep. We'll be there recording. So that's exciting. Little Big Beer Fest has moved from ABC to the Civil War Museum, correct?
Yep.
So
bigger venue.
More space.
Yep.
Still a little beer fest.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And still big beers. So that's good.
Here's the ironic part. More space, I'm going to remember less. That's the best part about it.
I think we have about 28 breweries this year. Technically 25, but because there were some collaborations, there's some breweries that are kind of sharing the space and serving their collective beer. So that's kind of cool.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Last year we had 21.
Wow.
So just a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I would say it's a little more than a little bit. That's fantastic. That's great. And then you have a new 717. And the story behind that, we can talk a little bit about that. And a new t-shirt design, which Ed, why don't you show that? Why don't you model that off again?
All right.
There you go.
720p. That's the best I can do on Hangouts. But
so
these
we've got
cool
the hop
shirts.
cone. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is really light and comfortable. It's amazing how comfortable this shirt is. I don't know where you guys got these, or you can probably tell me more about that.
Well, that shirt's the special edition. So that's for our staff.
All right. So everyone else, suck it. You can buy the shirt for me for $40 now.
Yeah, that one is going to go on sale probably next year. We're kind of testing that shirt out, but we still have the hop cone on all of our other shirts. So we have a girl's shirt. It's kind of like the one I have on. Like it's a black short sleeve shirt, nice kind of flowy cut. And then the men's is kind of like a almost gray, almost brown t-shirt as well, and just as soft as the one you're wearing, Ed.
Yeah, I didn't look at I don't know where you guys are getting these shirts.
Next level. Next level's the brand.
The material is just so light and nice. It's really good.
That's great. Sorry, I was just trying to tweet out that, live, some more people would be more than welcome to join us.
Get off your phone, Bill. Jeez.
Yeah.
Stop trying to promote.
Let's talk about this new 717 beer. 717 I always look forward to it. I have really always enjoyed writing about it. And I'm looking forward to writing about this one because I think there's a lot of stuff to say about it this year. It is, I don't want to get this wrong. It's a cherry vanilla cream ale, but it's not a traditional cream ale.
It is not.
Right.
It's an extra cream ale.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, which basically means we were trying to go for that kind of more smooth. We added the milk sugar in with it this year, so it kind of has that creamy vanilla flavor to it. We added more vanilla beans. So it's not like a straight up crisp cream ale. Right.
So there's no corn in it.
No.
Great. And
flaked oats, all the good stuff.
The story, as I understand it, and we'll talk about them a little bit more later. 0 Day, they came into the brew this year, and Theo was able to kind of provide a story that led them into this beer, right?
Yeah, that's right. So what we wanted to do was focus on the Appalachian Trail. I mean, Appalachian Trail runs right through Pennsylvania, right through the Harrisburg area, and Zero Day is the new brewery joining in. If you're not up to speed on what we do here for 717, it started out with Trogs, Appalachian Brewing Company, and Pizza Boy. And every year we are adding a brewery to it. So this year is Zero Day. Next year we'll add another brewer, so we'll have 5. So this year, Zero Day kind of came up with this story of one of Theo's treks that he did on the Appalachian Trail. And one of the stops halfway through is actually in Pine Grove Furnace, not far from here. And there's this little convenience store, and they have what's called an ice cream challenge. So you kind of take a break, take a day off of hiking, and you try to eat a half gallon of ice cream. And what Theo had was a cherry vanilla ice cream from Hershey's Ice Creamery. So that's kind of like we were, that sounds delicious. Why don't we brew a beer that's inspired by that? We don't want our beer to taste like ice cream, but maybe there's something to, the cherries, the vanilla, that creamy, sugary kind of flavor to it. So that's kind of what, I don't know, that was the concept anyway. And it kind of just snowballed from there as the other brewers started collaborating and tweaking the recipe and picking the hops that have like this wonderful melon, kind of a little bit of a raspberry flavor to it. So you get some hops coming through, but it's not that piney, resinous, hoppy kind of vibe.
Hey, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
But it's not a Northeast IPA. It's not because I've seen pictures of it. It looks kind of almost like a dull ruby color. It
is totally genuine original. I mean, it's not, you can't put it in a category. You can't call it a milkshake IPA because it's not that thick. It's not that sugary. It's not a Northeast style IPA because it's not that hoppy. You're just going to have to wait and see and try it.
Yeah, it sounds great. It sounds amazing. And I like what this sounds like because it sounds to me similar to that first 717, which was that crazy hoppy, weird Saison hot mess. That a lot of people called it a hot mess. Some people didn't like it. I thought it was fun.
It was kind of sour too. It was kind of that before sour was cool. Like
yeah, that was a kettle sour, and it was really weird. And we'll try it again. Coming up at an early event because I still got 2 cans of it left.
Oh my God. 4 years later, I'm not sure how well that's aged.
It tastes like acetone, but it seems like tradition at this point. I keep cranking one out. And I've only got 2 left. So this is your 4th year and I got one for your 5th year.
Awesome.
And it does taste like straight nail polish.
Are we going to have to do that on air again this year? Because last year,
dear God.
Yeah, we're going to do it on air again.
FML.
And previously, Trogs always was able to find a hole in their brewing schedule, and they brewed it. This year, though, ABC brewed it.
Yes, they did.
Which was, I think that's great.
I think they did like 100 gallons, a massive amount of beer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to be able to get it, obviously, at Trogs, ABC, Zero Day, and at Al's Place Pizza Bowl.
Yep.
Anywhere else going to show up?
I'm not sure exactly where else, but I know that it is a small amounts being distributed. So it's going to pop up here and there.
Great.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get it on draft, maybe some crowlers, but no cans or anything like that.
Yeah. And just one quick thing I want to point out. Every year at the end of Harrisburg Beer Week, the brewers actually send us a donation. So you buying that beer actually benefits the Harrisburg River Rescue and the Harrisburg Beer Week Initiative. So it's kind of cool.
That's
beer
great.
For good.
It is beer for good, and that's a nice segue. So Harrisburg River Rescue has been the charity event that the charity that you've raised for every year.
Yep,
and continues to be. You're probably able to speak more clearly to that than I am. Can you kind of?
Yeah. So we didn't want this. Well, I should back up. So we have 5 people on our co-organizing group. We are not doing this to make money. We don't make a dime off of it. It's totally voluntary. Everything that we do is on our own dime. And through the sponsorship that we have, through the signature event ticket sales that we do, any donations that come in whether it's, like I said, with the 717 collaboration beer sales, our merchandise that we sell, all the proceeds from that goes to the Harrisburg River Rescue. We wanted to do something that brings the community together and gives back to the community.
Awesome. So why don't we turn back to this beer and let's not get lost in this, because I topped off again. I've had at least a full glass full, but
I did the same thing.
It's a little more bitter than I would have expected it to be, but that's not a bad thing either.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily right on point.
Do we know what the hop profile is in this? I didn't read ahead.
Ooh.
I've gone to their website and they don't have it on their website.
They don't have it right.
I was there Wednesday night and I wish I could ask Bruce right to his face when I was talking to him. But I was talking to another brewery today and he's doing one with, I think he was saying like Centennial and a couple more traditional hops.
You just said Centennial and that.
Yeah,
okay.
It might have been Cascades, but I know it was a C hop, like a classic C hop, like an old, like 90s
school.
But
right? 90s.
Wasn't one of the cardinal rules for making a Northeast IPA, and I think this may have changed a little bit. Don't use the C's. Don't use the classic C's.
I think that might have morphed into that. I think more of it is over oat it to get the smooth back end, and as long as you get the right hop balance, you're going to be fine. The Trogs one I know has Simcoe in it, which we know is an overbearing hop that is making a humongous comeback. And
it is.
As an old guy, more happy I could not be. So it's strange. This I could never. If you ask me right now, I couldn't nail down one hop that's in this beer. I think it smells spot on, but the taste to me, I can't pin it. Chelsea, you're probably better at this than me.
Well, I was gonna guess Mosaic, because sometimes that can come through as kind of juicy, but then has a little bit of a hop bite to it. I'm thinking though that this is going to settle down. I don't know how much of it they brewed, but give it another week. And I think the heat is going to come off of it a little bit. It's a little, I don't want to say boozy, but it's a little hot right now. I think it's just a little young.
It is for 6.5%.
Mm-hmm.
That's for damn sure.
Well, that was my big thing. I when I tasted it the other night at the brewery, I said, immediately I go, this needs another 1.5%, and it would probably make it a little bit better. I
tend to agree that I want my Northeast IPAs to be 7+. I really enjoy it in the 8 to 9 range.
I would say the 7.5 to 9 range is where you should probably land.
But the problem is that this one's kind of boozy at 6.5. So like bumping up the ABV, unless it makes it silkier and they can give it a little bit more body, but really the alcohol is going to eat into those. I'm not quite sure where they go with this in order to step it up. I think it needs a bit of a rebuild.
Well, I think they're going in the right direction. Like I said, I think maybe if it would have sat a little longer, maybe. I think some of this, I'm saying this because my husband brews Northeast style IPAs all the time. And he always has me taste test throughout this whole process, even like before he carbonates it and kegs it. And you can really taste the difference in how it kind of smooths out as it sits a little longer, as it starts to get more carbonated, as the hops kind of settle down. I think this will taste completely different a week from now.
Well, fair question. Will it still be there a week from now? Because
probably not.
And that's one of the things.
I'm assuming it was probably a short or a small batch.
Yeah,
I saw it went on tap at Bresky's. So
they are distributing.
Yep, they're sending kegs out. Yep,
interesting.
Yeah. I think I've been a little bit critical of this one, but I don't think it's bad. I like
Juicy better.
I think I like Juicy better. I think it's a little bit different than this one.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. I think if we were just tasting this as, oh, this is a new IPA, and they didn't put New England IPA in it, we'd all be like, oh, this is really good. We'd have no problems with it.
Oh, it's a good beer.
But I think you try to pigeonhole things into the style, and then that's when shit falls apart with you're like, well, it doesn't do this, doesn't do this. But I mean, I could drink this all night. It's really good.
I'll tell you this. I had a conversation not too long ago on beer Twitter, and we were talking about a dank Northeast style IPA, and actually, myself and Easy Pretzel Dave were kind of like, yeah, what's with that?
Sorry about your luck.
No, he agreed with me. He's like, Northeast style IPA shouldn't be dank, but there was this whole other crew that, you know, kind of chimed in and they liked that element of it. And at that point, I had never had one before, and I would say this one kind of falls into that dank kind of vibe. I don't know. Maybe Northeast style IPAs are getting segmented. Maybe there's now variants of them. I mean, I already think we're on the 2.0 version anyway.
I think that we're actually beyond 2.0. I think we're around 4.0, but we're the originals. I think have been long since passed.
Oh yeah. This isn't even. It doesn't even compare. What people are putting out now does not even compare to like Heady Topper or Lawson Sip of Sunshine.
Yeah. Do you remember when those were a thing? Jesus.
Yeah.
And I still love Sip of Sunshine.
Yeah, I do too.
Heady Topper.
You know,
but it's totally different.
It's morphed into a whole other thing.
Yep.
And there are a few things in this world that'll make me happier than sitting down with a 4-pack of Heady Topper and like the Penguin game. God,
I prefer the Sip of Sunshine, but either way, you're not going to lose.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sip and Sunshine and Heady Topper, you people like fall into one of the two crowds. One's Mario, one's Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta just choose. So
I play both.
Easy Pretzel's watching, and
hi.
So Nicole, hello. Easy Pretzel, hello. Let us know what you're drinking. Easy is interested in a fight with you, Ed. So get ready. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, what did I do now?
I don't know. You know what?
Yeah, what did I do?
Who knows?
Oh, did he get his crowler from across the street that I dropped off today? And is that what it is?
I don't know.
All right. Well,
you'll find out.
It's funny that he wants to fight you because I sit there and poke the bear like almost constantly. Just like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm the guy that keeps you two from killing each other. That's all I do. That's
You're like, no, stop fighting. Stop fighting. Yeah.
Why do we have to fight on vacation? No.
You throw that one in the Slack all the time. It always makes me laugh. Nicole is Sip of Sunshine over Heady. And Easy, I want you to pick in the chat. Chelsea, Easy Pretzel. Heady or Sip of Sunshine? You got to pick. Which one?
Heady.
There you go. And
contest.
you're in the Sip of Sunshine crowd, right?
I mean, I love both, but if I'm sitting down on the back deck, I'm probably taking a Sip of Sunshine.
Yeah.
If I'm reaching in the cooler and it's today and I'm sitting, I'm probably going to take a Sip of Sunshine before I take a Heady Topper. But I love them both.
It's so sweet. For me, Sip of Sunshine's too sweet.
You know, it's funny though. You mentioned there were no particulates in this beer, and you go with the Heady Topper, which if you pour it in a can. That
is true.
That is stormy weather right there.
Yeah. I've had some tired hands too that I've poured it in chunk poured into my glass, but mostly that doesn't happen there.
It
happens to the best of them.
They're a hit or miss brewery. Yeah.
Don't get me started.
All right. No, I will not.
Yeah, I will say this, like the chunks, some of like little bits of yeast don't bother me so much. There's been a couple times where I've had a beer where it's just straight grass clippings. Like you didn't get any of these hops out. Like what?
And you can feel it sticking in your throat.
Yeah, just like
the residue.
Get out of here.
So Ed, did you say you brewed a Northeast style IPA for Battle of the Homebrewers?
I wouldn't call it that, but it's I used malted oats, I used flake oats, I used Vienna lager malts and Galaxy hops, Vic's Secret hops. Yeah. We use Nugget as a bittering hop and dry hop with citrus. So
nice.
It's not going to be able to sit long enough to get over, I would say 7.5% at the time we brewed it. But what I'm hoping is that it will turn out to be like a nice, smooth, it's going to look like a tequila sunrise, hopefully,
nice.
That kind of thing. So we'll see. We got a yeast that we're not familiar with, but apparently it's rocket fuel. And within 5 minutes of putting that yeast in, it was going. So
wow,
open. Yeah. And I'm gonna throw fresh pineapple in the one.
Nice.
And that should kickstart the other one, and that'll probably kick it up like 1%. So maybe we'll get to 8 or 9 on that one. we'll see. So yeah.
Well, you're the reigning champ in the IPA category.
I know,
so you got to bring it this year.
They should just call me Mr. Unlikely. Like I'm sitting around, like everyone else there spent $1 million to be there, and I'm just there like, hey.
I love that you just like came. Did you even have a keg? Like I feel like you just had a keg, a party tap, and you had like an 8.5 by 11 sign that said like, "This is my beer."
Oh yeah,
there's like no big display.
No,
it was minimal. It was awesome.
I taped the signs right to the thing. I had no tablecloth, no jockey box. I used the like the party tap system. I had corn cake, so I just plugged the CO2 in one end, and then we had to go. I didn't have a second pitcher. We had to run up to Shady McGrady's. The picture of me in the paper is me pouring the beer out. The award-winning beer out of a Bud Light pitcher that I got from Shady McGrady's. And I'm like, could it be more Midtown than that?
Are you bringing your own pitcher this year? Are you gonna bring your own pitcher?
No, I'm going to Shady McGrady's and pitchers again. I assure you of that.
I thought it was great that your stand was next to this one that had this beautiful jockey box.
It was
lacquered. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. It was rehab. And it was a handcrafted wood jockey box.
It was a big deal.
When they showed up, I go, what am I doing here?
There are multi-million-dollar breweries and there are hundreds and hundreds of $1 million breweries that don't own a jockey box as nice as Rehab's.
Yep, that's a true story.
Yeah,
they all had matching shirts with their names on them and Rehab on the back. And I'm standing here and I had a Bluetooth speaker, a Hawaiian shirt, and a captain's hat. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And these guys all brought 18 family members who were like stuffing their ballot box.
Intimidation. Ah.
And you know what it all came down to was the judges, after everything was all said and done, they were like, what do you do to your water? And I go, well, I walked into the kitchen and I turned the faucet on and then I brought it out and we boiled it. And these guys are all ionizing their water and they pay $1,000 to buy this thing. You're overthinking it. Find a place that has good water, your beer will turn out fine.
Well, that's the thing. Some areas have really crappy water. Like Dillsburg, ours is the worst. It's hard water, and you have to like soften it and treat it. And
yeah,
you're
which
lucky,
is
man.
crazy. Yeah, no, it was just they were like, "What'd you do?" And I just go until it was full, and I go, "That's all we did."
No water treatment, no display, Bud Light pitcher.
And literally, you're talking about two guys who get really wasted and miss our hop additions. Like we're like, oh, we were supposed to add hops, so we just add them both at the same time, and it always turns out fun. This is literally Chelsea last year. That was the 4th award that me and Jay's beer has won in a competition. And we're idiots. We don't keep spreadsheets. We don't keep measurements. We just go and brew. And
that's the fun of home brewing, you know?
Yes, that's what it should be about. Just get together and have fun and just wing it. And if it's good, it's good. If it sucks, it sucks. But at least you gave it your best effort.
See, I'll give you credit. You guys treat home brewing more like cooking, whereas a lot of these guys treat it like baking. Baking's a science, right? Mm-hmm. You have to have very exact measurements, exact temperature, exact time,
the right ingredients.
Yeah, because baking is chemistry. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Cooking is just art. You just throw a bunch of shit in, just done. And cooking is a lot more interesting to me than baking. And Ed, with the way you do it, it just seems more fun.
I mean, it's just grassroots. It's just go in the driveway, boil some water, throw some shit in it. Eventually,
oh jeez.
I mean, that's all it is. That's all it really is. You're just boiling stuff and then making it ferment. That's it. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, but be honest though, like you have a concept in your head, right, of what you want it to taste like. At least that kind of guides you into what ingredients you're choosing.
100%. No, I do, and so I know. Yeah, there is a little bit, but in the execution, when I brew, that tends to all fall apart midway. And you're just like, well, we'll just do this and we'll do this. And well, did we really need to use these hops? Nope, screw it. And it just happens. And then you pitch your yeast, and we always get good yeast, or we do yeast starters and do all that stuff. But, I don't think it's as exact of a science that people put it in. You can make it your own thing just by being an idiot, or if you miss it by 30 seconds, it's not going to ruin
It doesn't have
your
to
day.
be super fancy.
It does not. It absolutely does not. You can and you can cover it up, and it's, you can figure out a way to make things happen. Last year, one of the things we did when we did the peach wheat wine, and that was just a one-off that we did from a beer that we did 3 or 4 years prior. We just threw peaches in it, and it kicked up the fermentation
all the sugars.
Yeah, and then it kicked up the alcohol by 1 or 2%, and that wheat wine almost got us another goddamn trophy. It came in a half a point behind number one, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I could never accept it. It's just don't overthink yourself, I think is the whole thing.
I think some people get too, I don't want to say anal about it, but
regimented.
Regimented, yeah. You're right. Some overthink it, but definitely, to Bill's point, it is a science. It is an art. But if you go a little overboard, I think you miss the point and you miss the boat.
There is a science and an art to it, absolutely. But there's also a fun, creative art part to it that you can still have fun doing it. Right.
That's what I love about this event, for sure.
Did that alarm go off 20 minutes ago? I don't know. We were listening to Eddie Murphy Party all the time on repeat. Just throw the hops in. Who cares?
Oh, dear God.
If it comes out great, it comes out great. And you just did something stupid.
And if it doesn't, then you don't bring it to the competition. That's what's great about homebrew competition.
Well, despite that, I'm still bringing mine to the competition. As long as Derek will judge it. If
Derek's not judging. He just helps organize the judges.
Sending it to the judging. Yeah. I know. I sent my thing in today. Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, thanks for filling out the form a week late. You got it in just in time.
Oh, well, there's a prom night joke in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Are tickets still available for that event?
Yes. There's not that many left. I think there's 140 tickets left, so not a lot.
Yeah, and that event always sells out.
Yes.
But that's one where usually it's
late. Yeah, closer to the event. It's late. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think because of the locations downtown, Midtown, there's kind of this fun community vibe, and it's this, I don't know, people start to build buzz and talk about it around the actual market. It's at the Broad Street Market. We have posters up. We're going to be doing ticket sales there, and I think it's one of those things where it's oh yeah, I should go to that kind of a thing. People don't plan ahead; they just grab tickets when they see it and go.
And what's different about this type of brew fest, aside from my jackassery, is that but you're being judged. So everybody there is bringing what they would consider their A+ to B beers. They're here's a beer that I want to be judged.
Well, and these judges are ones you want to impress too. We have some high-level judges.
So when you go to this event as a ticket holder, you're wow, I'm getting this guy's A+ beer, or and so you're not getting just, oh, well, these are our flagship beers, and we're going to send 3 people out, and it's going to be a brew fest, and we'll just get rid of all these bottles.
It's a huge competition,
right? It's actually a lot of fun, and you're going to taste a lot of different beers and a lot of people's best efforts, which I think is unique to Brewfest now.
We have brewers coming all the way from Philadelphia to be in this competition this year. Yeah, when we sent we put the entry form live for people to RSVP and claim their spots to compete, and it filled up in 2 hours. It was nuts. I mean, even last week, I still have people asking me, "Can I get in the competition?" Maybe next year. So we have this long, long list of people that just want in every year because it's really great judging. I mean, we have people from Trogs, we have Free Will, we have Collusion. South County, I can name off a bunch of different breweries. They're bringing their best guys to judge. We have top prizes provided by Scottson Brothers and also by Hack. They have the brewing courses there that are part of the prize. So it's not like a $25 gift card. It's substantial prizes that we give out.
That's awesome. That's great. Definitely one of the signature events. The other signature events you have are obviously Low Big Beer Fest, which is sold out. What are and the mini golf? You got a mini golf tournament?
Yeah, so that's on the very last day, the 10th day of Harrisburg Beer Week. We're calling it our "If You Need Another Round," join us at the golf, at the mini golf place. Right, exactly. But what we did different this year is we have an after party. Arugas is putting on an after party at City Island after everybody competes on the mini golf course, and free food. for the after party. There's free beer during the golfing. So it's $25 a person, and we're saying that, you know, a 3 to 4 person team. I think we're capping it at 15 teams, 16 teams. So there's still some slots left. You can check out our website, harrisburgbeerweek.com. Go to our events section, look up the mini golf, and you'll get a link where you can register to be a part of that tournament. I think it's going to be pretty fun.
It really is a great website. One of my favorite parts about it is you can go to the calendar, you can look for events day by day, and if you find one you like, you can hit a link and it'll put it right to your Google Calendar, or if you're on your iPhone or Mac, right to your iCal, and you just click it. It's like boom, it's right there. It gives you all the information, the date, time, all of it right in your calendar. I live and die by my electronic calendars, and
we make it easy for you.
Yeah. Nicole said Susquehanna Valley Girls Pint Out sponsored a hole. We sponsored a hole too.
Yes. Yeah.
So Ed's going to make a joke about that, I'm sure.
No, I turned over my couch and I said, I have at least 83 cents to this, and Bill covered the rest. And then Dave just bought us an airplane. So whatever happened there. But,
Stouts and Stilettos. Yeah, they sponsored my site. It's abrewlife.com sponsored. Nice. We got all kinds of sponsorship this year. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I joke, but we're more than happy to. It's very fun.
Let's not half-ass that plug. You have a website.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's abrewlife.com. It's my husband and I, Derek, the home brewer. We travel all over the place, check out really great beers. He brews beer. I write about beer. Just about everything we do, I think, centers around beer. I'm looking at my office wall right now, and I have beer packaging framed. Like, that's my art.
How many cats? How many cats?
Oh, I only have 3 cats. Yeah, crazy cat lady. But I only have 3.
I'm kidding.
So
actually, one just walked in. I thought she was going to join the podcast, but she left.
I knew it.
It's a Brew Life is a really pretty website. Design is something you really care about. My website.
It's my profession.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My website, Bearcat on Beer. I'm lucky I can ever get anything written and put up. It's the plainest outline I could find, and I just throw it up. Yours is a dynamic website that's really well done, has nice photography, and is beautifully laid out.
Thank
and
you.
also has nice typography, something I do care about.
Hence my tag on Twitter, Design Girl.
Yeah. And I said we get to
Is that what that is?
Oh, don't even start, Ed. What'd you think? You knew
I'm
what
just
it
busting
was?
your balls.
I get Dancing Girl a lot. I don't know what that's about, but it's Design Girl.
We're gonna go to. We will get to the review of this beer in just a minute, but
we never will.
Evergreen redesigned their logo not too long ago. Their old logo wasn't bad, but this logo is so good in my opinion.
I love the color.
Yeah.
The color's great.
And the loop is well done. It's bold. It makes sense. And you know what? I finally figured out that evergreen is not meant to be one word, which is nice.
Right. And before you couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell. Yeah. It was like, wait, is it one word? Is it 2 words? Is it like evergreen?
And
it didn't make sense.
The font's very bold and it's very consistent now. Before it was kind of, they were only a year old, right? So they were still kind of figuring out who they were. And I think with this new branding, they have a lot of neat little elements. I don't know if you noticed the small little E that can be used like it's their abbreviated logo, which is pretty cool. That's great on social media when you have a tiny little small space to occupy. But the blue and the black, with the white and the silver I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a great logo. I think it's well done.
It's something that someone would remember.
Speaking of bad logos, though, I mean,
it's the worst.
I'm glad they put the independent on here, but this logo is so fucking bad.
I hate that logo. I got so much shit on beer Twitter about flaming that logo.
It's a bad design.
There's too many letters. It's hard to read when it's small. I don't understand the upside down bottle. I mean, I get it. Okay, independent, you're bucking the system, so let's turn the bottle upside down. I personally think, I'll tell you why they put the bottle upside down. I'm calling their designer out on this. It's because they wanted the letters higher up, right? They wanted independent higher up on. So they're like, well, we can't put it down to the bottom. Well, let's just flip the bottle, and then the letters will be up higher.
I
This
figured
really
it
is
would have
that
just
fast.
been because they wanted the bottle pointing the opposite direction of another bottle. Like if you had like a bomber.
You think?
That's yeah. So it like went
I don't
opposite.
know.
So
No.
I mean, you're probably the one better than me. But no, what a long ass word. Why?
Yes.
That's way
A
too many
long-ass word.
syllables for that stupid bottle.
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of people like it. Art is very subjective, and people are using it. I think a lot of people take pride in the fact that their brewery is independent, and they want to show that off and exclaim to the world. So it does that. It's successful in that.
Yeah, being independent does matter. It's something that breweries should advertise and that they should be proud of. They should be proud of their independence. But doing that at the behest or through the Brewers Association, to me, is unnecessary.
I agree.
I also don't think it's that hard to realize who's independent and who's not.
I also don't think some people don't care.
A lot of people don't care.
I would say the vast majority of people the other night when I was at Evergreen, just as an example that is readily available. A lot of
like
people.
The general beer population.
Sure. Yeah. Or not even beer population. People who were there as a corporate event.
Mm.
There was probably 100 people there for some sort of corporate event from the, oh God, it was some sort of like tourism bureau thing. And they were over in the restaurant and they were drinking booze. They don't give a shit about that kind of thing. It does not matter to them. It's fun that they're there and it's in their neighborhood and they can go and have beers. But I mean, I would say probably 5% of the actual population of people that were at Evergreen would give a flying fuck about independent brewing. They don't. It's just
true. I mean, it's a fact. It's not. I mean, I don't want to downplay. I think the benefit of being independent and what that's all about to us. Us 1%ers that give a crap about good beer. But to be truthful, there's a lot of people in the world that don't. They just want to drink what's there and what's fun and what everybody's drinking around them, and beer is fun to them.
But let me ask you this: Is there any type of place that you would go to and you go, oh, they don't have the independent sticker, and you're going, no. I'm not going in there.
Nope.
Who cares?
I know some people that do care, but it's a small percentage.
That's very strange to me.
Yeah.
I got
fair. I want to know who these people are. I really do.
I got better things to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying independence doesn't matter. I want the places that I frequent here locally to remain independent. The fact that Trogs is, I think, fiercely independent. It's right there in their name. Mm-hmm. It's two brothers that own it. I know them. I meet them. I talk with them. I talk with John on a fairly regular basis, and I'm not doing that to name drop, but just to say that I know who makes my beer, and that matters to me, and I like that. But it doesn't necessarily drive everything that I care about in beer. And just because I know the local guys and I talk with them, while it does make me beholden to them in some way because I want to support them, when I'm buying, something like Goose Island, I don't really care that much. Sophia's really good. I'm gonna buy it.
Well, yeah. Well, look. I mean, for me, it's more about drinking fresh. I often say this a lot when I'm tweeting. Like, it pisses me off when I get stale beer. Like, I literally get angry about it. I don't want to drink stale beer. And I like to go to local breweries or travel to adjacent states in Pennsylvania for some beer releases because I want to drink it fresh.
Yep.
That matters to me.
A good question here in the chat. Chelsea, the glass you're drinking of. We like to talk about our glassware. What is that?
This is from Tired Hands. I don't know. It's probably hard to see in the camera here. It's two cats eating pie. So Tired Hands does some quirky things.
I think I've seen that movie.
Let me ask you, why aren't you drinking out of one of your stemless glasses? Because those are so nice.
I think we made
Last word for the crazy cat.
Oh,
lady.
there she goes.
Yeah. Why didn't you grab
Oh,
one
what?
of your life?
Uh-oh.
I think we're having a little bit of trouble with Chelsea there. Chelsea, you still there?
What? I'm here.
Okay.
You hear me?
Tell Derek to get off the internet right now.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, why didn't you bring one of your It's a Brew Life stemless glasses? Those are so nice.
Actually, Derek's using it. We only have one. We only have one for ourselves.
How do you only have one?
That is really well. She sold them.
No, but seriously, like we sell a lot of them, so I don't. They're constantly going out.
I was going to say, I've been in your kitchen. You have ample space.
Yeah, we do.
I would start getting rid of pint glasses and being like, yeah, stemless.
Oh, yeah. Oh, pint glasses were gone like years ago.
Oh my
There are
God.
no pint glasses in my beer closet.
I still like the shaker pints. So,
do you?
Yeah.
Hey, I have like 100 of them like in a box in my basement. Do you want them?
I'll take some. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, especially for breweries that are defunct or for beer brands that are defunct.
Oh my gosh, I think my oldest one is a Pete's Wicked Red. It's like old school vintage.
That would be
really
nice.
You know what mine
is? Do you
is?
remember that?
Yeah.
What?
Mine's Pete's Wicked Ale.
Oh, I have quite a few Pete's Wickeds. I have like 3 or 4 of them. I forget which. What's the one that's blue? Is that the ale? Pete's Wicked Ale?
Oh, no, that was
I don't know.
That was red.
Oh. Well, and I also
I don't know. I'll have to go in my basement and look, but I have like a series of Pete's Wicked.
All right.
Oh my God. I would love to have more Pete's Wicked. Yeah,
I
will throw Trogs right out of my cabinet.
We got a couple more things to cover. So
we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna start with the review on this beer. Then we're gonna throw it to Ed. Chelsea, you get to go last. We rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. You talk about it a little bit. Then we're gonna rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. While we do that, why don't you go get that glass from Derek, rip it out of his hands, and if you want, get a second beer because you're gonna need one because we have a couple more things to discuss. All right.
Before you do that, mute yourself.
Yeah, mute yourself. Yeah,
because then we're gonna hear, "Hey, Derek, what are you doing?" We're gonna hear everything you're doing.
All right, ready, set, go.
All right. Okay, so Blue Detour Evergreen. This is our first Evergreen beer we've done on here, and I feel like I may have sounded overly critical about this beer, and I'm not. Couple things. Look at that lacing on this. I mean, this beer laces nicely in the glass. The color is. It's okay. I will say this. I think it looks a little bit better than maybe it does here on the camera. The hops are a little bit. I think they're a little bit more muted than I would have liked, and they're also a little bit more earthy than I probably would have liked. The mouthfeel could come up a little bit. I would like to have seen a little bit more body in this, and for the velvetiness to kind of come through a little bit cleaner. The 6.5% kind of does hit back here in the pangs a little bit. It's in the finish, and the finish is dry, which I like, but it's not quite dry enough. There's a little bit of sweetness to it that I would kind of prefer got worked out. Those are all the negatives. Here are the positives. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I really liked it. I thought it was well done. Some of the people on Untappd said that this was their favorite that had come out of Evergreen. I've had a good number of Evergreen beers. This is not my favorite one they make mostly because some of the ones that they make I find to be really, really good. So with that, I'm going to give this one a 7. It's a solid beer. It is good, and it can be made better. And so I'm going to give this a 7. Ed, you're up.
All right. Here's my take. And you kind of hugged all the things that I wanted to talk about, but it's a really damn fine beer in and of itself. I think that they are making a mistake by being like, "Hey, it's a New England style IPA," and you're just asking for beer nerds to kind of kick you in the throat, which is, if they were just to call this I don't know, let's just call it a Pennsylvania IPA or something stupid like that, nobody would give a shit, and it's perfectly good. You guys are a little right. It's a little hot on the front end, but I love the lacing. I love the color. I love the I love the hop build of this. I think the malts are good. I'm right there with you, Bill, and I know this is going to sound like Ed's selling out, but I'm giving this a 7 as well. I think it's 7 out of 10. Chelsea, what can we? Now that you're back, what can we?
I'm back.
What do you think?
Yeah, so for me, I definitely am fine with them calling this a Northeast style IPA. Does it hit the mark entirely? For me, no. But it's definitely not a straight up West Coast IPA. It's not an English IPA. I would probably, if I were rating it a 1 to 10 for Northeast style IPAs, I'd give it a 6.5. I think if they toned down the bitterness on it, I think that would work wonders. I mean, that would put it, for me, if the bitterness was a little lower, I'd probably put it at an 8.5.
There you go. That's great. So were you able to get the glass?
I did. Yeah. Can I put beer in it?
Yeah.
Can I go on to my second beer?
Yeah. I'm gonna crack out my second beer.
Right.
I just got it out of the Batman lunchbox. So
I was gonna say, is that a lunchbox?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I always keep the beers in the Batman lunchbox while I'm podcasting.
I don't know if you can see. It's probably too bright.
Oh.
I have a Trillium double dry hop Smelter Street IPA. So since we're in the Northeast style IPA vein, and I don't like to let my IPA sit very long, I want to drink it fresh. I needed to get on this can right away because it's like right at the turning point.
Done it. I love Trillium. It's been a while since I had it in their beers. Oh, look at that glass.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I love about this glass and why we chose this glass. Actually, we chose it 2 years ago, and a lot of people kind of were weirded out about it because it's like a TQ shape, but there's no stem. I tip things over easily. I like that I can just hold it in my little hand.
I have like two glasses.
There's like a groove. You can't see it. There's like a groove where you can just kind of like grab it.
No, those are great glasses. I love them to death. Stemless glassware is great.
And you know what? Everyone's going to this exact glass. It's made by Restall. Our vendor that we get this from actually had it made for them by Restall. You can only get it from them. And I even saw Tired Hands. I could rattle off a million different breweries now that have this exact glass. So,
yeah. Restall,
that style worked.
They make the best glassware. They really do.
It's beautiful.
I don't have a glass. I need to order one. I just haven't done it yet. It is the edge on that sharp or is it rounded?
The edge?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is it sharp?
Like sometimes they have a sharp like, cut edged. Yeah.
It's thin, but it's not sharp. It's rounded. There's a lip to it.
Nice. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Sometimes
and you can put it in the dishwasher too, and not have to worry about it breaking. Yep. Form and function.
All right.
I apologize. I had to walk away for a second. Chelsea, I missed your score of the Evergreen.
Oh, right. So just real quick, I gave it. I would say that it is a Northeast style IPA. It's close to hitting the mark. It's a little too bitter for me. So I gave it a 6.5 just on that note. Everything else I think is spot on. I think the color, the haziness, I think the mouthfeel is great. The lacing is great. The aroma is great. I think if they would just tone down the bitterness, maybe change up their hop profile a little bit, I'd probably give it an 8.5.
Awesome.
So keep tweaking it.
Wow. That's great. Ed, you and I got the same beers, and you want to do the intro on this one?
Oh,
what do you guys have?
I cannot believe that I'm drinking this again in my life because the last time I had this was probably, I want to say 2005 or 06.
Is this Victory? Like I see the red and the blue.
Victory Hop Wallop. That they are now. Oh boy.
Whoa. Nice pour.
Agro pour.
Plain glass pour.
Hey, nice crowler, Bill. I haven't got the hop wallop pint glass, by the way, but
Nice.
I'm very excited about this because when it first came out, me and Jay, who I brew with, we went and both found cases of it, and I bought, I think, 2 or 3 cases of it and had it in my closet, and I just kept drinking it for like 4 or 5 months. Stuff was amazing. Now at that time, this was like, you were like, well, this is unbelievably hoppy, and it's such a weird IPA. And I'm very excited that they're making it again. This is great.
Yeah, I was able to pick this up at the Parksville Victory Company, and their crowler is great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. The Big Red V.
See,
so
again,
good.
they kind of evergreen with their little E, and they have the V. You need an abbreviated logo from time to time.
Yeah, you do.
And our hop cone that we have on our shirts this year is kind of that concept.
I think the Victory Big Red V is one of the, I mean, you're not going to beat that beer marketing wise. You see that iconic from across the room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And on the top of the tap handles, have you ever seen their tap handles? They line them all up. V, 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 V. It's awesome.
It's a
unbelievable.
Great,
yep. Great branding.
It's a great name for a brewery. Victory. Man, so well done. The last time I had Hop Wallop was in 2011. God, it's been a long time. This is a beer that they put away. I used to, Ed, you're gonna show off that glass. I used to have that glass, and I
uh-oh.
Yeah, this is the original.
Broke?
The original Hop Wallop, and I used to drive just down the turnpike. Yeah, this is, oh my God, I want to say 05, 04, 05, 06
that logo
maybe.
Is something else.
Yeah, and this was, they had a whole story that went with Hop Wallop, and at the time it was something that was very unique and different, and it was just overly hoppy, and they were like, fuck it, we're going to get out of our German style shell and just like do this really cool stuff. And I'm so glad it's back. The smells are bringing me back, even, you know.
Yeah, the smell does bring it back. This is a great beer. It's kind of sad that they don't feel like this is a beer that they can kind of keep on or keep in their rotation. This used to be a year-round beer for them, and oh God, they just brought it back for a limited availability, only on draft at the breweries. And you know, it's why can't this beer succeed in 2018? I think it's a tough question. I'm not sure why.
See, now I feel like I need to retaste it.
Yeah, it's really good. I miss this beer.
The IPA for me from Victory, if I had to choose, my favorite would be Dirt Wolf.
Oh,
how does it compare to Dirt Wolf? I don't remember
different.
what alcohol it tastes like.
This is thinner bodied. It's lighter.
Okay.
More, I would say you will taste more German malt profile out of this.
So it's malt forward.
Yeah,
yeah, but not hop devil malt forward. Smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's piney. There's a little bit of like a minty profile to it.
That's really good.
It's German hops the whole way. German 2-row hops. There's our malts. It's malty. It's 8.5%, and it's a big malty IPA. And
that was popular for a while.
It was.
I wouldn't even consider this like malty to a point where you're like their Hop Devil. I would consider malty.
Really?
Oh yeah, overly malty. You know, this tastes more grainy than malty.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
more like bread or toast. Like
yes, 100%.
Okay,
a little bit of cracker.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
There was a joke hidden in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This
is really good.
It's crisp too. It really is. And boy, look at that. It's just so pretty. You know, this is what
in your goblet. I love goblets too.
I love goblets too. I went with the
They're easy to
0 day
hold.
goblet because
Yeah, cool.
0 days the new 717. God, look at that pour.
I went with the hop wallop gallop only because
That's
we were gonna do hop
hilarious.
wallop. Yeah,
Oh my
I got
God.
I got
That's
this
like-
glass with the first case I bought, by the way.
Yeah,
I want to see like Bugs
got that
Bunny
too.
like walking across the screen. It's that kind of like Tom and Jerry character. But
Yep. And they actually had a story with it, like Hop Wallop is the guy, and you're like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yosemite Sam.
This is a very
I say son.
look, and that head just stays. It doesn't go away. This is 8.5%, and look at that head.
Whoa, 8.5%.
Yeah, even in my shittily
That's
cleaned
fine.
pint glass, this thing is sticking around. Oh, it's so good.
I'm only doing a 7.2%, guys, with my Melcher Street. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
That beer is really good. I don't know if I've had the double dry hopped one, but double dry hop seems like a weird concept. Like it doesn't actually mean anything. It's well, we have this other one, and then we dry hopped it twice as much. Double dry hopped what
Yeah.
No, you wait a certain amount of time, dry hop, and then you dry hop again.
Right. It's very regimented, and it is a specific day. Like, no, it's not. It is not.
I totally
Where's
disagree.
Derek? I need to call him.
I think the
Go
concept
y'all.
of double dry hopping is very it's no, it's arbitrary. It's definitely arbitrary. It may be regimented in when you do it to do it properly or for a certain beer,
achieve
but
a specific flavor and a taste without it being overly bitter. And I think that when people hear that term, and it's a marketing term, double dry hopped, I will admit it's a marketing term, but it does tell you what you're going to taste. I do firmly believe that.
But you can also manipulate the yeast a little bit if you wanted to kick in. So if you dry hop, it can kick it up, and if you don't use the right hops, it could mellow it out. And then if you do a second one, you're trying to kick it back up to where you want it to be, or maybe bring it back down to where you want it to be. So I think that's where they kind of go with that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm a hack. Nobody cares.
Look, I think it's all marketing. Triple dry hop.
Yeah, the name is definitely marketing, but it's not like they're not actually doing it.
Yeah. No, I will agree to that. That would be false advertising and other things. By the way, I'm just stunned by the head retention. I almost don't want to drink this. The head on this is just so perfect, right?
I just want to let you know.
I think the glass that you have helps with that.
Oh, it does.
Sure.
The Easy Pretzels in the chat, and he said Goblet is the best glass. I would say Goblet's the best glass for craft beer because it's kind of the jack of all trade of glasses. There's so many styles that just work in this style glass.
I think
it kind of directs the aroma too. As you're trying to smell it, it's more concentrated.
I agree.
I don't know. I could be imagining that.
No one's ever complained about a beer being put into a goblet glass. At least I haven't. So yeah. Sean Fox. He's drinking a Rugged Trail. I had one of those earlier today.
Oh, I love Rugged Trail.
I'm so glad it's back. So glad.
I love a good brown ale.
Yeah.
I won't rest till oatmeal stout comes back. Fuck that.
Yeah. You're gonna be waiting a long time. I was able to get a couple crowlers of the Perpetual Darkness, which I'm really looking forward to cracking open. I got some friends coming over this weekend. We're gonna crack into those. Perpetual Darkness is the newest name beer at Trogs, and we're gonna see it again. We're gonna see it more regularly. Not quite sure what exactly the packaging is gonna be, but John was really excited about it. What percent is it? 10%.
Can we petition them to have that at Little Big Beer Fest? Like, is it going to be ready in time?
Well, hey,
John. Seriously, Phil, somebody at Trogs, get that at Little Big Beer Fest.
I got to be honest with you.
Can you put in a good word?
If you're trying to get into Trogs, don't go Phil. Go Ed Jasinski. Hey, what do you?
Ed.
Oh, okay. I have to go the Ed. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Right now, Ed.
I haven't tried it yet. I'm really excited to get into it tomorrow. Easy says it's great. What it is it's not Flying Mouflon. It's Flying Mouflon with all the things that that John and Chris and their brew team have learned over the years. That's how it's described to me by John. It's not a barley wine. It's not an IPA. It's not I would say, from what I've read about it, it's not a strong ale. It's kind of this other beer. Really looking forward to trying it. Really excited about it. Anytime we get a named beer out of Trugs, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, and
well, you know that it's gone through test after test after test. Like, they take it seriously. When they put a name on it, they've done their homework and they perfected that beer.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really good. Well, you know what? If we can, we're gonna do a live review on that one coming up sometime soon.
Cool.
Although we got the next one we really got to do is we got to do Golden Pills, Ed. Got to do Golden Pills. Come on. Yeah, the new Yingling.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Did you not have it? Or did you have it?
We've been trying to get that beer, and I've been promised that beer for like 3 weeks, and now nobody. You don't like it.
Here's why I did that, because like in college I drank Yingling Lager. Like it was good. I liked it. I drank Black and Tan. Loved that even better. But ever since then, as they've tried to release new things to kind of be not edgy, but kind of be relevant, I feel like they just missed the mark.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I think that's fair. They're some of their other beers they released have not been really that great. I don't know. I got
for this one now.
I got high hopes.
Let me know how it is.
Yeah, but well, tune in. You'll be able to see. So,
I'm beer curious, so I like to try everything.
I agree. Yeah, we got to do that, and then we got to do Straub. We got to get Straub in here. So, and the next few, those are the two I want to get in. Golden Pills, and then the.
Do you guys get down to Collusion? You guys get down to Collusion at all?
It's been a while.
I've been there.
I don't know. I'm really liking some of the stuff coming out of there. I think you should get some crowlers every now and again from them.
I couldn't believe they did a Pater's beer. I was like, holy shit, they did a Pater's beer?
Yeah. They do all kinds of stuff.
I need to get back there because the last time I was there, it was very early on. And they hadn't been open for very long, and they had 20 beers on the board. And I walked in and went, okay, guys, that's a mistake. And it was. it was too early. It was too early. And I've had.
It was hard for them to keep up with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it had to have been. They had just been starting out, and they got 20 on the board, and I'm like, this could be a tough day, and it was. I have had some of their beers. Friends have brought crowlers up since then. I've had some really good stuff. I'm not quite sure I understand what their branding is. Where do they just do everything? Do they specialize in something? I don't know. So, what do you think?
I love their saisons, to be honest, and I don't think there's enough brewers in the area that are doing a solid representation of the saison category. So I like, when I go there, that's what I like to try. They're doing some Northeast style IPAs, although I mean they're not like in the 10 category, but definitely in the 7 to 8 range for sure. And they've been experimenting a little bit with some sours, and I don't know, Jared, one of the owners and the brewers there, he has a lot of experience with all different styles. So I think I like his creativity, and I like that he experiments with all the styles. So for me, I would disagree, Bill. Like, I like a brewer that can kind of just bounce around and play with the whole wheel of beers.
Yeah.
Chelsea, I have to know, what do you consider a good saison?
Flavor wise, or
because my whole thing is I see saison on the board and I figured it out. The style is just too wide open, like
IPAs are.
Yeah, well, yeah, possibly, but I'm like, a lot of American saisons aren't that good, and all I hold them to is Saison DuPont. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what
Well,
do you think makes a good Saison?
I'll have to tell you because there are different varieties depending on the yeast that you use, whether it's Belgian or French, and then also there's the kind of that spin off of like tart saisons, which that's the wheelhouse that I'm in. Like I love a tart crisp saison. I like a little bit of a wet blanket thing going on with them, a little funky. But if you get over to the more traditional saisons, they're the more clovey banana peppercorn. While I appreciate them, they're not my preference in saisons.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm more of you should be able to taste the floorboards of the barn it was born in.
Yeah.
And
some of them are aged in oak, right? You can do that. But I also like that a lot of the brewers are starting to like infuse it with herbs or it's fresh fruit. You've got the sour cherry saisons. My husband brews a really great sour cherry rhubarb saison. Like he'll take whatever ingredient is in season and he throws it into a saison and it's so earthy and floral and delicious.
You should send that to us for Christmas. That's all.
Okay, he just bottled some.
Oh, good, sweet.
Derek, write that down.
The fruit I hear you on. It's the herb ones that I kind of like was shaking my head. Like I've had a couple where
it's not for everybody.
Yeah, those herbed ones like rosemary, lavender. Oh, yeah,
lemon balm, lemongrass.
I find them lemongrass not bad because I think lemongrass is such a subtle flavor in my opinion. And that one kind of works well. But a lot of those really deep herbs are just
it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not for me. So yeah, I can understand that. A saison for me is really all about the finish. That's where I really want it. Really, where I care about it most is I want it to be bone dry. I want it to finish really dry, and to just kind of it then pulls me back in, and that's where I care about. So, yeah. All right. We're I don't want to run too long. So let's do a quick review of our second beer here. Ed, I'm gonna throw it to you first. Come back to me, and then Chelsea, I want to hear what you have to say about that Trillium.
Okay.
Hold on, I had to gather my thoughts. I really love the German malt backbone of this beer because I think it takes the hops and gives it like a smoothness that even our New England style or Northeast style, whatever you want to call it, IPAs have it. This is a really smooth beer. I think it's fantastic, and I wish more brewers would, get with the German style brewing, but that's fine. So that's all I got. I love it. Oh, wait, I have to get a score. Hop Wallop. I would say 10 years after, I'm going to give this 7.5. Chelsea, what do you think? Oh, Dave.
I don't have that. So
yeah, we'll go to Chelsea for hers.
Sorry,
that's all right. That's all right. Well, we've been drinking. Okay, so this is a beer I miss. This is one of the original big IPAs from when I started drinking craft beer. This tastes like what craft beer used to be for me. It's a bit of a time machine. It's been a long time since I've had it. I was really excited to have it back. And I was talking to the bartender at Victory, and I said, hey, we got it on tap. Are we going to see this come back? And he was like, no. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, no, it's not coming back. This is just a little special thing for people like you that are really excited for it. This is 8.5%, and it never shows up. I mean, that's 6.5 from the Blue Detour was hitting you here, and this 8.5 never shows up, and that's nice. It's not kind of picking you up in the pangs at the end, like the way that the Blue Detour did for me. It's got a little bit of pininess to it. It's got a It's got that floralness that existed in the old hoppy beers. This is kind of like I'm going to say this. It's not Pliny the Elder, but it's kind of like that. Like, this is what craft beers used to taste like. And one of the great things I feel about when I get Pliny the Elder is it's kind of a reset of what an American IPA can be. And to a certain extent, this is too. If you have a chance to get a crowler of this, or to go to Downingtown or Parksburg and have a couple glasses, you totally should, because it will remind you what IPAs used to really taste like, what really great ones used to taste like. Craft beer is an evolution, and it evolves, and evolutions can be better or worse or just different. But this, you're not catching this all that much anymore. It's not fruity. It's not tropical. It's not West Coast. It's not blowing you out with pine and dank, but it's damn good. And I really like it. And I'm giving it a 9. Chelsea.
Yes.
After that long rant, you're drinking something that's as new as can be. What are you having?
I have Melcher Street India Pale Ale. It's double dry hopped, and it's from Trillium in Massachusetts. That's relevant for me. My mom lives in Massachusetts, so we get up to visit her, and she takes us to all the breweries, and we do some beer cationing as we're there. So yeah, it's not local. I'm not sorry, guys. I'm not drinking a PA beer here, but it's still kind of, I don't know, special to me because it reminds me of my travels to visit my mom. But it's a Northeast style IPA. It has, I'm gonna say it's more of like a slick kind of mouthfeel. It's full bodied for sure, but it kind of has I don't want to say a saltiness to it, but you can definitely taste a little bit of a mineral quality to it as you're drinking it. I'm getting notes of, there's a little bit of a pineapple going on there as well. Very herbal, floral, grassy. There's also kind of a nice fizzy carbonation at the end. And I don't know, it's one of my favorites from them, Melcher Street. So I try to get every variation that comes my way. Also this sounds weird, it also has kind of a sunflower taste to it. And you know me, so I like the herbal kind of floral things in my beer. So yeah.
Cool.
Delicious.
Speaking of herbal beers, the most herbal beer I've ever had was the Remedy by Moo Duck in Elizabethtown, which is a brewery that can be hit or miss with some of their beers. But the Remedy was made with what's that pink stuff you put on if you have calamine?
Calamine lotion?
It wasn't made with the lotion, but it was made with the flowers. And it wasn't pink. But I don't know. But it was really herbal. It was like a chamomile tea. And
they do herbal very well there at that brewery.
They do herbal really well. If you like herbal, earthy beers, that's a good place to go. They're one of the original sponsors. They were actually the first sponsor for Harrisburg Beer Week. The
very first, yep. I actually got to meet them a few months prior to the very first Harrisburg Beer Week, and I had I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I just remember it was basil. It was the basil beer.
Honey basil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like that rocked my world. That was not one of the first herbals, but it was one of the first herbal beers in this area.
Yeah.
And I said we have to have them for Harrisburg Beer Week.
Yeah.
For sure.
They will. I'm sure they'll be at Little Big Beer Fest. Moo Duck was the first one in.
They're also at Little Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
No. Oh, what's that?
So the day before Little Big Beer Fest, there's a little beer fest at Tattered Flag. They've graciously started hosting that last year. And this year there's 11 different breweries that are doing little beers. I think it has to be like 5% or lower. So session ales are there. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So you drink like not lighter, but you don't get tanked from drinking those beers. And then that's kind of pre-gaming the Little Big Beer Fest the next day.
That's
Have
fantastic.
fun.
Then you get tanked.
Yeah, a Little Big Beer Fest.
I like the idea, but it's like, hey, this is the appetizer. Now just go get hammered.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So check them out at Tattered Flag. April, that would be April 27th, Friday.
Awesome. That's great. Okay. So we come full circle.
Yeah.
Okay. HarrisburgBeerWeek.com at HBG Beer Week on Twitter, right?
On all the socials.
On all the socials.
Yep.
Real quick, Ed, Easy, Pretzel, and I, along with Tierney from Stouts and Slaughtos, are hosting an event. There are tickets still available. They are $10. All the money goes
That's going to be an awesome event.
all the money goes to Harrisburg River Rescue,
and you get beer.
Free beer, $10
Well,
and free
not
beer.
free.
Well,
$10.
Tell them what it is.
LCB, $10 and then free beer.
But the event is.
It's a panel with Greg, from the co-founder of Untapped. I won't say his last name because I'll murder it. Tierney from Stouts and Slaughtos.
Avola, yep.
Thank you. And then Jeff Kupko, who is one of the original Harrisburg craft beer, luminaries. It's gonna be his swan song because he's leaving us, which is very sad. And it's gonna be at Startup Harrisburg. Tickets are $10. $10. Hey, come on. Come. Chelsea, you're gonna be there, right? Did you already get your ticket?
Well, I have to work PA flavor. I have to serve 717, and
But you would
Chelsea.
be there.
I'm sorry. Someone's got to do it.
I gave up working PA flavor so I could work this event. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I hear you.
Sure.
But no, I'm going to be doing the 717 gig at PA flavor on that same day.
But if you could go, you would have. So
if I would plug myself, I would do it. Can I give a shout out?
Yeah, sure.
No, you go.
Well, right. there are maybe 20 tickets available or less than. So we're really close to selling out. We would really like to sell out. We're going to have beer. And you know what? If you like the show, if you're watching, you should come see us do it live. And
if nothing else,
please come to my event.
Come pay $10 and drink all you fucking possibly can.
Right.
That's all you got to do. But you're going to learn a lot about starting a business, maybe an app. It's going to be a really good Q&A. I think it's going to be a real fun thing. And I'm glad we're doing it over at the space. So it's going to be really cool.
All right. Chelsea, you wanted to plug something. What you got?
So I have to shout out for Stouts and Stilettos. We did a collaboration beer with Boneshire Brewworks. I don't know if Tierney has been on the air and talked about it, but I'll just recap. We're doing a pineapple goza called Aloha Anana. So sales from that, some of the proceeds go to Harrisburg Beer Week as well. That's April 26th at Boneshire. I'm sorry, April 25th. It's a Wednesday at Boneshire. And then I'm also doing a speaking gig to talk about label love and beer label design at Web Effects in Harrisburg on April 25th. I'm sorry, April 26th. That's Thursday, so that's from 6 to 9. So I've got 2 back-to-back gigs that I'm doing all the fun label stuff. Oh, you have an old school sticker.
I got a sticker.
That's from year one.
Year one.
Yeah.
And
do you have this year's sticker?
No, not yet.
Yeah, you need to get one.
We have this. Well, you should give one to me.
I
can put it on the sticker board. This is the IFS podcast sticker board, and we're gonna put this
right there. Bing.
Right there.
Thanks for having me, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a Brew Life sticker.
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't have stickers. We have glasses.
All right,
glass.
We can stick glass with duct tape right to that board. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Or you can just drink out of it always.
Harrisburg Beer Week.
And then he has to turn the whole board over and drink out. It'd be like a great hazing thing.
Yeah. So Harrisburg Beer Week on the board. Go to Harrisburg Beer Week events. They're selling those little flags at all the places. $5. $5. You can put one up. If you want to be really cool, make it hashtag Airport Dave, and then we'll all have a great laugh at Dave's expense. If you're going to Little Big Beer Fest, say hi. Dave may or may not be able to make it this year. Ed, I know you're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's Ed." Yeah.
We
know.
Yeah.
Come over and say hi.
Say hi if you
come over and say hi and get a punch in the face. That's
yes.
I've never punched anybody in my life.
As a credentialed member of the media, because I got a
this is the bane of my existence right now.
You and the
credential. Oh
fucking credential.
Well, I got an email that said I was
what a credential my balls on me. Oh God.
You are media.
Chelsea, how dare you?
Work it, Bill. Work it.
Why did you not ask me first?
What? Ed, you're always there anyway. You're like part of the family. You don't need credentials. You are part of Beer Week.
I am credentials.
You are credentials.
Wait, what are you drinking again?
All of it.
All of it. All the beers.
Oh God.
We didn't talk about hair. We didn't talk about zip drives, but we're all out of time.
Oh, I used to love zip drives. Sorry.
Do we all use zip drives in college? I know you did, right?
Oh,
Chelsea?
Yeah. I used them when they first came out. I'm kind of dating myself.
They were so
I remember
good.
Photoshop 1.0, so there's that.
Ooh, nice. Ed,
and on that note.
Yeah. All right, we're done. Hey.
What Chelsea, did I do?
You're on your phone. We're done. We're talking about zip drives.
I'm texting Chelsea.
What? Wait, what's the question?
No. Let's let Bill get through his thing here.
Yeah, we got to end the show. We got to end the show. Chelsea, thanks for coming on. To follow you on Twitter, what's your handle?
DZYNGRL, Design Girl.
There you go. That's also your license plate. So
it is.
If you see her out and about, you can beat better. Ed, you can follow him at Ed Grohl.
You can follow me at DZYN Guy.
Shut up. Dancing guy.
I'm kidding. Ed Grohl, one word. Ed has a man crush on Dave Grohl. That's how you.
Yeah.
There you go. And at Bearcat on Beer, bearcatonbeer.com. It's FridaySomewhere.com for the podcast. If you liked our show, subscribe. It's always great.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, like and subscribe. And look, it doesn't cost you anything to listen to the show. It doesn't cost you anything to listen to the podcast. Here's what we always ask you. Share it with friends. There you go. Hey, Chelsea, say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Ed.
Hi, Chelsea. Thanks for having us. And Bill, I'm sure we're going to talk for about another hour about all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, we are. All right. I'm going to hit stop.
Thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Yeah. Thanks, Chelsea. I'm going to hit stop.
Bye-bye.